y'all. In your mind, I walk in with words that scorch, and the impact is awesome, verbally extorting every cell in your brain till the message is retained. The illest finally came, the rest sound the same. Synthetic, cosmetic, the gang spoon-fed it to 85 and streetwalkers thinking they riders. And then you got these riders to tell you what hood is. Ask for the rest who don't know where the hood is. I got calm, unlock blocks and pop on infiltrators who got on through my art form. This is streets music like drugs I use it to escape the hell and the ones who rule it. With children kill children and project builders over chemicals that made the government billions. Meanwhile, I'm watching who's scheming and plotting on my bank account and the jewelry I'm rocking. Sneakers stay clean, I push big machines, oversized rims and mini plasma screens. I conversate with teens and tell me what they seen. The hot shit on the scene is gangsta extreme. It's in style to die and doing time to fly. You get props for getting shot and your pussy if you're not. I look at them, stare back at them, then laugh at them. Get scientific with it, then spit the math at them. Break down the whole compound with small atoms so they understand, ready for war, get back at them. Cause gangsters that I knew that told me not to do what they was physically doing, cause this is not for you. Cause they saw my future, I was like a computer being programmed with data from legends that live major. And this is what I made of, my mind stays in a state of 9/11 related, survival orientated to keep me situated when drama escalated. I thank God I made it cause many did not make it. And all my
Salute Knicks Nation, salute Giants Nation, and thank you for joining me for another episode of the Man-Cave podcast. What's good? It's your boy S. God. And before we get started, I would like to say, if you're new to this channel or this is your first time, please hit that like and subscribe button, and also hit that notification bell up top so that way you know when I'm coming on, you know what I'm saying, you can hear my analysis and reaction to sports things in New York and all things alike. But without further ado, you see what the topic is: Knicks offseason trades and rumors, and also Bradley Beal traded for fish heads and rice. Yeah, but like I said, yeah. So in a couple of days, the draft will be in a couple of days on Thursday night, and I'm also going to be doing a watch along at 8 o'clock on Thursday night, so you can tune in for that too. But and also a week later, be free agency. June 29th, free agency kicks off. But as far as like Knicks offseason trades and rumors, like I said, we had a couple of, you have a couple of rumors here and there, like, Karl Anthony Towns, Bradley Beal, names OG Anunoby, Damian Lillard, names like that. But as far as, like I said, with the Knicks is like all season rumors is like, I think everything is going to be kind of quiet on the Knicks front until draft night. I think that's when things are going to kind of like, start opening up and, the dominoes are going to start falling. As far as teams ready to make moves, you hear names like Zion Williamson might be traded draft night, but don't know if that's true or not, But, a lot of things are thrown up there. But, the draft is when teams do try to hit the reset button and try to make some trades and start all over, tear it down, or rebuild their team. So, I mean, even though, and with us, with the Knicks, we have no draft pick, what I'm saying? And that's kind of like a rarity, like from like a first in a while. So, it's going to be kind of interesting because, like I said, usually, the draft is, Knicks got a couple of draft picks or something like that. So you're tuning in to see what's going on, but they don't have no draft pick. But that could change by the end of the night, because teams are more reluctant to give up first round picks, later first round picks. And then some teams in the lottery trying to trade out, they might want to trade out for like a vet that can help them, like a all-star vet or somebody that can really like move the needle for them. And then be willing to give up that, like, lottery pick or whatever if they feel like it can help them. Like, you see Portland with the third pick, they open to move it, depending on who they're going to get. If they could get a veteran to add with Damian Lillard, what I'm saying, then I guess they'll move the pick. But if they can't get a veteran to add with Damian Lillard, they might end up trading the pick, or they might end up trading Damian Lillard to start the whole rebuild. As for the longest, Damian Lillard has been like a loyalist with the Portland Trail Blazers. So everybody knows, like, he's loyal to them. He don't really want to leave, but sometimes it's time to go. He's been in at least about, 10, 11 seasons, something like that. And he wants to win a ring. And that's what the whole thing is sometimes. Early on in your career, you like loyalty to the team. You want to build with the team. You want the team to build around you. But sometimes it doesn't always come to fruition. And sometimes players, by the time, like 8, 10 years down, they're ready to go. They want to go win. They want to win the championship, So I could see that happening. other things like and then as far as the Knicks offseason reports came out today or within the last, like last night, that Obi Toppin is supposedly not happy with his role and on offense, what I'm saying? So, and the playing time. And I can see that, Obi's a fourth year player, so I can see that because his time has been fluctuating while he's been on the Knicks sitting behind Julius Randle. And that's another thing. He's sitting behind an all-star. So that's what makes it kind of difficult is like, how you going to get minutes? Are you going to move the all-star or are you going to trade Toppin? Because something's got to give. Me personally, like I said, I like Obi on the Knicks. I mean, I think he should get more playing time, but it's up to the coach. And the coach Tom Thibodeau, he's more of a Julius Randle fan than an Obi Toppin fan. So you see how that plays out. Like I said, it's 48 minutes of the game. I think Obi can get somewhere about 25 minutes, at least 25 minutes game, to 20 to 25 minutes a game. But Julius plays like 38 minutes a game. So there you go. It's like 38, only 10 more extra minutes. Now, unless you go to a small ball lineup, which the Knicks rarely do because you got Mitchell Robinson, you got iHeart, so they really go to a small lineup. So that means like Obi Toppin gets squeezed, his minutes get squeezed. So I know it's going to come to a head at some point. Like I said, hopefully for the Knicks, I hope it really don't. You know what I'm saying? Because I really want to keep Obi. I think he come off the bench. You know what I'm saying? He brings energy and things like that off the bench, fast break points, things like that. But I know some people say, well, Obi Toppin, he really doesn't move the needle. But you can't really say that because, like I said, they haven't really given him the space to grow. So you're only going to get what you can get, for the limited time that he is playing, you know. But as far as that, like I said, Obi Toppin is like, he's been linked to the Pacers, in the past. And even like draft night, he could be traded to the Pacers, for either the 26th or the 29th pick that they have, But anyway, and I think another thing is because he's coming up for an extension, and they probably won't want to give him an extension. You know what I'm saying? So that will probably be the reason why they would make a trade, so they won't have to pay him the extension or give him a contract. So I mean, there's a lot of things up in there, but you just never know on draft night what can happen. With 2, 3, 3, 14 trades. So we just got to keep our ears open and see. Like I said, but it's always Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly, R.J. Barrett, Quentin Grimes, a bunch of draft picks, mentioned in trade rumors with the Knicks. So you never know until it finally happens. The Donovan Mitchell thing, like that was supposed to happen like last year, but it didn't go down. The Knicks held on to their picks because Utah wanted a lot. They wanted the whole house. You know what I'm saying? They wanted like 4 or 5 players and like about 6 or 7 draft picks, and that wasn't happening. I mean, I wouldn't have made the deal either. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad the Knicks stuck to their guns. Could Mitchell have helped us? Sure, he could have. But the price was just too high. Now, if they came down with the price, I could see them doing a deal. So, but in the end, it turned out good for us because, like I said, we played Donovan Mitchell in the first round and we eliminated him. So that kind of like take that one. You know what I'm saying? the first showdown between Donovan Mitchell and the Knicks in the playoffs. So Knicks 1, Donovan Mitchell 0. But as far as like the Bradley Beal, and that was another thing, Bradley Beal was linked to the Knicks, way before back. I think when the Knicks hired Leon Rose and World Wide West, because World Wide West was supposedly like, he has ties to like, players, their families and stuff like that. And he was trying to get Bradley Beal to steer him towards the Knicks, but that never happened. Bradley Beal's he's another like Damian Lillard, loyal to his team. He wanted to see it through. He wanted Washington to build a contender, and it looked like it never happened. And he's finally on the move. He's on the move to the Phoenix Suns. And a little inside story to that is his agent is the father of the Phoenix Suns general manager. So we see how that one worked out, because basically in that deal, I mean, the Wizards fans should be up in rage. They should be upset. Bradley Beal got traded basically for fish heads and rice. He got traded for a 39-year-old Chris Paul on an expiring contract, Larry Shamet, and like, I'm gonna just be like, yo, he got traded for like 12 second-round picks and a couple of pick swaps, but second-round picks for a superstar, an all-star like Bradley Beal. I didn't even see, like Josh Hart said on the Knicks, I didn't see any first-round picks going in the deal. Did you? And Bradley Beal's an all-star, so I didn't see how that deal went down, but I can possibly see why when you find out the inside track on it. why it went down and how it went down. It went down kind of quick and it went down kind of fast because it wasn't a bidding war for Bradley Beal, because Washington did it real quick and they did it real swift. And I think if they'd have held out more, they could have got a lot more in that Bradley Beal deal. But I'm hearing now like they're gonna, wait a little bit so that way they can extend it to like either third or fourth team to get involved, so more things can be added in the deal, which I kind of thought anyway, because like I said, usually look at a straight up team trade like that is like I couldn't understand how DeAndre Ayton didn't even go in the deal, to clear some cap space to go that way. But I guess Washington didn't want to take on his big contract after they got rid of Bradley Beal's big contract. And Bradley Beal's an all-star. DeAndre Ayton is a good young player, but he's not a superstar all-star like that yet. So I can understand why they didn't take it. But to make the deal look more sensible, I could see if they would have included Ayton or somebody else or get some draft picks just to make it look realistic. But maybe the 3-team or the 4-team deal is going to help make it that way when they add other teams involved and move more players around to reroute Chris Paul probably to the Clippers or the Lakers. That's the other rumors that you're hearing. But like I said, so Bradley Beal, that was one deal that was supposed to go, linked to the Knicks. Some Knicks fans didn't really want Bradley Beal. Some of them did. But in the end, it's like I wonder what a deal with the Knicks would look like, because the way the Phoenix Suns deal looked like, the Knicks offer could have trumped that. But then again, like I said, we'd have been giving up a lot. Probably been giving up like 3-4 first-round picks, a couple of young players and things like that, or Derrick Rose and Fournier's contract would have to go, So that deal wasn't made. And like I said, the Wizards didn't give any team really an option. And plus, another thing that's important, Bradley Beal has a no trade clause. So he really could predict where he can go. He could control where he goes. So that was another thing too. He can control where he went. So that makes it a little bit harder too. If a team is interested, he doesn't really want to go there. He doesn't have to go. So he just told hey, this is where I want to go. KD and Devin Booker, they was recruiting him to come to Phoenix, sell him on Phoenix. And, he wanted to go and form a big 3 there in the desert. And we're going to see how that's going to pan out. The thing with KD is KD looked like he's been having big 3s everywhere he go, what I'm saying? And it really hasn't turned out to championships. Only the Golden State Warriors, that turned out to championships. But then other places he went, injuries is part of the game, and that happens. One of his best shots was where he originally was drafted is Seattle and Oklahoma City with Russell Westbrook, but they never really could get over the hump. I mean, they always got there, but they couldn't get over the hump. And they had a good, nice young team. So, but like I said, as far as Bradley Beal, we'll see what happens when he goes there, see what they do. Right now they only have 4 or 5 players under contract. So we'll see how that's going to shape up, how many mid-level exception players they're going to have to pay to get to play. But that's neither here nor there. So scratch off Bradley Beal to the Knicks. That one ain't happening. He's going to Phoenix. Another one is Karl-Anthony Towns, who's still out there. A lot of Knicks fans don't really want Karl-Anthony Towns because they say he doesn't mesh well. He's not a soft player, and it's some people just I don't know. He doesn't move the needle for me too much, but who knows? He played for Tom Thibodeau in Minnesota too, so that's another thing. He played for Tibbs already, so he know how to play with for Tibbs. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But a deal like that look like that's going to be another what the Knicks should do is take a page, I guess, when the Phoenix Suns and the Lakers when they're making deals, because these teams look like they really don't give up too much. I mean, yeah, the Suns gave up a lot in a Kevin Durant deal, So I'll say yeah, okay, but other teams like this, if you see a deal like the Phoenix Suns deals, maybe the Knicks don't have to give up so much in deals. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they could keep some of their players and just give up some draft picks or pick swaps. That's another favorable thing is pick swaps instead of giving out first-round picks as a pick swap. So that's another avenue that the Knicks could use. But like I said, coming up Thursday night in the draft, like I said, the Knicks don't have a draft pick. So we're going to have to keep an eye and see what's going on, what moves are made. Some people will be moved on draft night. So who knows? It could be Knicks players, on the move, or it could be players come to the Knicks. Who knows? Because this front office, after the postseason, I know they looked at it as you know what? We're going to have to get better. We're going to have to have more pieces or another piece or something like that. Something's got to give. I mean, the Knicks yeah, the Knicks made it to the second round of playoff, and stuff like that. But they probably could get further if they had like better pieces and things like that, So I'm pretty sure they probably not sitting still. They probably like trying to maneuver, see what else they can do, and make some trades and stuff like that. But we'll have to wait and see what happens on Thursday night during the draft. You know what I'm saying? Then after that, a week later, it's free agency. So free agency is like June 29th. So we'll see what moves they can make and things like that. You know, because the Knicks look like they need some shooters to balance out the team a little bit because the Knicks don't really have good shooting, and some of that showed up in the playoff. They got exposed with their 3-point shooting, and really when you don't have shooters, then the other team could collapse in the paint and just force you and dare you to shoot outside jump shot. And if you can't make them, then you're gonna live and die by the jump shots. You're not, your playoff run is you're not gonna have a successful playoff run. So that's another thing is like what the Knicks do in the offseason. If they don't make a trade, what rumors like and what free agents you think they could sign? Person, like I said, I think they need some shooters. You got people like Seth Curry in Brooklyn. I mean, I think they could get him, Seth Curry, as a free agent. He ain't got paid too much like that, but you need shooters, you need a scorer, you need somebody that's gonna perform. Seth Curry's one. I mean, the Heat has Max Strus, but they're probably gonna re-sign him and things like that. And we'll have to see what becomes available because, like I said, a lot of players could opt out of their team option. There's some players that have team options; they can opt out. So that's another avenue that we have to wait and see what happens on June 29th. Another player, Kyle Kuzma, he's been linked to us at some point, but he declined his player option, so he's going to be a free agent and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, this offseason looked like it's going to be a interesting one as far as the Knicks. Like I said, usually the Knicks are in the draft. They don't have no draft pick this year, so that's the wait and see approach that we will have to see what happens. But as far as that, Knicks all season rumors, trades, like I said, any other thing as far as trades, like I've been hearing like, rumors and stuff like that. IQ's coming up for his player option and things like that. So who knows, what the Knicks going to do. They probably going to pick up his option, things like that. He's also been linked to possible trades and things like that. But me personally, I don't think the Knicks should even try to trade their young players because, like I said, most of the time with the Knicks and Knicks fans, we know we don't give our young players time to develop really, and we end up trading them to other teams. Some of them don't pan out, but some of them do pan out, and they help other teams. So it's like sometimes you give up on them way too quick, because the Knicks are always trying to go for the quick flash and big signings and stuff like that, and trade young players away. Like the young players that we got, like I said, they're developing. Like I said, I think these guys could be good, stuff like that, but more depth. And that's another thing. The Knicks have a lot of depth. So when you have depth, it's like these players really can help, So it's really like the more depth you have, you can keep these guys to develop them instead of just giving a whole bunch of them away. And then next thing you know, you get this star player and you have no depth, no bench. And that's another thing is like bench helps you. The bench helps you. You need to have a bench. So you need to keep some of these guys. But like I said, as far as quickly, we'll see what happens, but I don't think he's going to get moved. The only one they've been talking is Obi Toppin. And like I said, I don't want to trade Obi, but if he got to go, then, that's what's going to happen. They're going to make the decision to trade him, which I think they should. Because like I said, Obi needs to play, get some more minutes and things like that. But Knicks seems fit. If they want to get into the first round or get a first round pick or get back in the draft, they may have to trade Obi Toppin, which, like I said, I don't want to do, but it is what it is. Quinn Grimes, what I'm saying? He's going to come back. He's going to be ready next season. Like I said, he got a taste of the playoffs, so he's going to be developing and stuff like that. And then free agent Josh Hart, the free agent Josh Hart, he opted out of his player option, so he's looking for a deal. And most likely he's going to come back with the Knicks, but I think it's going to be somewhere about probably like a 48 contract, like a 4 years, $72 million deal, 18 mil a season. I think that's what he'll be looking for. Me personally, like I said, I'm not really okay with it. I'd rather be paying 15 like what he's getting 13, but it is the market, So and NBA contract and NBA salary cap is going to go up. So that's another thing. That's why players look at too. Like the salary cap is going to go up. So they're looking to get paid, looking for more money and things like that. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. But I know, like I said, Josh Hart will be back with the Knicks unless something happens that somebody blows him away with an offer or something like that. But I think he'll be back with the Knicks. And as far as trades, like I said, the only trade I'm think is going to happen is on draft night. If it's the Pelicans, Zion Williamson, if it's somebody else. But I think that's the only time the Knicks are going to make a trade on draft night. After the draft, if the draft is over, the Knicks haven't made no trade. I don't think a trade is going to be made. I think Knicks just going to go into free agency, see what they can do, see who they can sign, how they can bolster this team for another stretch playoff run, and see what they can do. But, a lot, like the coach, Tom Thibodeau, and the front office will be under a lot of pressure this year coming up. If they don't make the play, if they don't get further in the playoff, or if they don't make the playoffs, I think they're going to be on the hot seat if they don't make it, because at some point, you just got to go. You just got to go in a different direction. If it's not working or you don't reach the ceiling, you're going to have to go in a different direction, put in new management, new coaching, and, see what you can do. But I think this season coming up, it is going to be like a pressure season for Tom Thibodeau, his coaching, see what he can do, see what players they give him, or see who come back and see how the team plays. Because that's another thing, is like we got to the second round this year. Okay, progress means next year we got to get to the finals, the conference finals. If not, we can get to the NBA finals. But if we go out in the first round or we get swept in the first round, yeah, it's going to be some firing going on. I think it's going to be the front office or Tom Thibodeau will be the first one to go. So this year, like I said, this is a make or break season for the coaching staff, the front office, and also some players too, because like I said, Julius Randle, he's an all-star player, what I'm saying? Jalen Brunson right now is the best player on the Knicks right now. But if Julius Randle has another postseason like the one he had the first time he played, and then last year, this year, I know he was hurt, but if he does the same thing, I think really the Knicks will have to cut bait after next season if that happens again. They probably won't have no choice but to cut bait. But stranger things have happened. Like I said, who knows? Maybe he might bounce back. Maybe he might have a good playoffs. That's what we hope, and that's what we want as Knicks fans. So we'll see what happens in the offseason. We'll see what the Knicks do. But like I said, everything starts on Thursday night at the draft. I know sometimes things don't always go down the draft, but I think this draft is going to be some trades going to be made. If there's going to be the Knicks, it could be some other teams. It could be some blockbuster deals made that we didn't see coming, or that you kind of anticipated. Also Chicago Bulls, Zach LaVine, trade block. But we all know Zach LaVine wants to go to LA, so I think he wants to go home to the Lakers. So if he gets traded, he might get traded to the Lakers. If not, he's going to get traded somewhere else. But his heart is with the Lakers, so I expect if they can make a trade. I don't know if the Lakers have too many pieces. I know they don't have too many first-round picks, or they might have to give that 27 and 2029 first-round picks if they want to make that deal happen. But that also look like a trade with the Lakers and the Bulls look like it's going to have to be a 3 or 4 team deal also, because you have to get other teams involved to expand the trade, and also, draft picks, money wise, make contracts. You got to make contracts. Balance out and things like that. So that's, like I said, Zach LaVine could be on the move. Zion Williamson could be on the move. Bradley Beal's already on the move. He's already gone. Carl Anthony Towns could be on the move. Damian Lillard could be on the move if Lillard is available in the trade. I think the Miami Heat are going hard after him. I know he was just on a podcast and he was talking about, they asked him, like, which team would you not mind going to, or where he had the Heat as the preferred destination, or his number one destination would be the Heat. He could see a trade to the Heat or the Brooklyn Nets, but they asked him about the Knicks and he wasn't too keen on it. So who knows? But like I said, that's he doesn't have a no trade clause. So wherever they send him, that's where he's going to go, but or, they could be loyal and just be like, ask him where he wants to go and oblige, to show their loyalty. Is like, if this is where you want to go, this is where you're going to go. So, he could be in the move, but also he might end up staying too. It all depends on what happens with Portland with the draft pick. If they could make a trade to get a established veteran, like an all-star type player to help Damian Lillard, they're going to trade the pick. If they can't get one, like I said, it looks like Damian Lillard might be on his way out, so they could do the rebuild, because I don't think Damian Lillard wants to rebuild another season or a couple of more seasons in Portland. So those are like some of the big names that supposedly, but then also you got Toronto, you got OG Ananobi. A lot of he's a hot name on the trade, and teams want to get in trade for him. You know what I'm saying? Earlier they said the Raptors during the trade deadline, their asking price was steep. So who knows? It may have come down after the season. During the draft, it might come down. So we'll see if he's on the move or not. What's his name? Gary Trent, another shooter. He picked up his option, so he's staying with the Raptors. And who else? And then there's some Knicks fans that have been clamoring to see if Kristaps Porzingis, if they want KP back. Some Knicks fans want him back. Some Knicks fans don't want him back. You know what I'm saying? Because he has a player option too. So that's another thing they're gonna watch out for. If he outside of his thing, then he's a free agent. Also, I know Kyle Kuzma opted out of his, so Kuzma's a free agent. And then some, like I said, there's other guys that's gonna opt out, and June 29th, you're gonna see who's available, who's not available. But like I said, it's the draft, and you know, this is like the what you call it, before the regular season and training camp. This is like the NBA. What do you call it? This is like not after they Super Bowl, like after the playoffs. This is their big season, say before the training camp and everything, the draft and the playoffs. So it'd be like the draft, free agency. But like I said, as Knicks fans, we're gonna sit here, watch what the Knicks do. They might shock us. They might trade us. They might shock us, and they might make a trade on draft day. And trade somebody who we didn't think they was going to trade for, or trade players on our team who they're gonna have to get rid of. So if they feel like that's going to help them, get to that next level, then that's what they're going to do. So that's why I'm going to watch the draft. I'll be back on Thursday night, like to do a watch along draft. So if you want to come in, we'll just be on here watching the draft and talking and stuff like that. Because like I said, I think it's going to be some trades made, and teams are going to look to reset, restart, rebuild, and go from there. Or some teams might sit still and just say, well, you know what? Let's run it back. Let's run it back and see what we're going to do. Because some teams didn't make the playoffs, or some teams got eliminated from the playoffs due to injuries. So some people, some teams were like, you know what? Let's run it back. Let's see what happens if these guys are healthy. Let's see how far we can go before we really tear it down. Or they run it back and they feel like they hit their ceiling. That's it. There they go. They'll be like, that's it. That's what we're gonna do. Going to trade this way. Or if it doesn't happen like draft night or in free agency, you still got the trade deadline in February. That's another hot thing when players get traded. During the season. So the beginning of the season, if a team feel like they're not going nowhere or they're not getting anywhere with the guys they currently got, they're going to shake things up. Trade deadlines is the next big thing before the end of the season. So we'll see what players will be on the move. But as far as, like I said, the Bradley Beal deal, like I said, that's the one deal that still got me like, I know there's more to it. I hope there's more to it. Say this can't be it, but like I said, stranger things have happened. And also Karl Anthony Towns, what is he going to do in Minnesota? It's like, I think that team has hit their ceilings. Like Anthony Edwards is a great player, great young player. So I think they've been probably looking to keep him and build around him. I think that what they'll try to do is get rid of Rudy Gobert or Karl Anthony Towns to see if they could shake things up. Because they got a nice little young team. It's just something that's just like between Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns it's just not clicking. It's like, something that's clunky is like they don't fit. So they're gonna look to see what they can do. But like I said, don't be surprised if they pull up a draft day trade, stuff like that, to get rid of Karl Anthony Towns and send him somewhere. Or it could be Rudy Gobert, but that big contract, I don't really see nobody taking on too much of Rudy Gobert's contract. They might just leave him in Minnesota. Karl Anthony Towns, he's still a young player, still about 25, 26, so he still got some more. He's getting into his prime. One thing with him is like the injuries. He's been injured. He got the injury bug like the last couple of seasons and stuff like that. So he could shake that out, then yeah, they'll have something special down in Minnesota. And as far as, like I said, the Knicks is like, we got to do what we got to do because we got to keep pace with these other teams. We got to stay in this race. We got to see if we can finally bring this championship to New York. It's been, 49 years. 1973 was the last time the Knicks won a championship. Almost won one in the 90s, which we should have. That was the closest we came to winning one, was in the 90s. Everybody go back to the 94 one against the Houston Rockets when we should have won that championship. But that's either here nor there. That was a chance we had and we didn't get it accomplished at that time. So we got, and just watching the Denver Nuggets the last week when they won a championship, it's been 40 something years. It's like, I'm like, I guess hopefully we up next. Hopefully we got next to win our championship, to bring a championship finally to New York. I mean, I think if the Knicks win a championship, it's probably going to be the most celebrated championship of any New York sports team of all time. Probably be the biggest parade. It's like that monkey will finally be off our shoulders. But that'll be a big, big monkey. The Knicks win a championship, I think that'll be the biggest celebration in New York sports history. The Knicks, because the Knicks are like, of New York is like the Knicks, the Giants, the Yankees, and Rangers. Those are like the top four teams in New York. But like the Knicks, this is a Knicks, Giants town, and Yankees town. So if they win, I'll finally get a chance. I hope they can win a championship in my lifetime, so I could go celebrate a championship for New York, for the Knicks. That'll be something that'll be like great. That a lot of Knicks fans that growing up is like haven't seen a championship. So it'll be the first time ever. Saying for New York Knicks. And I think if that happened, it's just like the gods will have to come down or something like that. But it'll be a great thing for the Knicks if they could finally get that monkey off their back and win that championship. But like I said, it all starts, like I said, this season right here. This offseason starts in 2 days, the draft, which, like I said, I've been saying again, we don't have none. But like I said, we'll get either a second round pick or get a first round pick. It's not that hard to get one of those picks or things like that. So the only thing I just wish is like whoever they get or wherever they get is somebody that can help us now, not somebody down the road, somebody that can help us now, because we don't need another developing player, like especially if you got like a coach who's ready to win. He's in win now mode. A general manager that's in win now mode is like their backs are up against the wall, so they have to make great decisions what they're going to do, and how they're going to go about it, So we'll see what happens. Like I said, other than that, it's like I expect Brunson to be back healthy, Mitchell Robinson to be, and that's another thing. Mitchell Robinson's another player. Like Knicks fans are, how can I say it? Got a love-hate relationship. Everybody loved Mitchell Robinson on the defensive end and things like that, but they hate his offensive game is limited. But like I always say, is like you can't have too many offensive players. Somebody got to do the dirty work. There's not enough balls to go around. So Mitch if he's blocking shots, rebounding, alley, I'm good with that. Some people are like, well, he doesn't have he's not a stretch five, and that's why the paint is clogging. That's why the Knicks offense stack is like, some of it can be true, but also it could be the coaching too, and the plays in the system that you run. If you have a system that's always moving, cutting, doing some things, then it's not going to be a stagnant offense. I think it's what system you're in, because players like that help your system. You need a rim protector. You need guys who are going to get rebounds. If you don't have a rim protector and a guy who gets rebound, you're not going to win a lot of games. You're going to be blown out. Your defense is going to be lousy. You're going to be getting up like 120 points a game. So you need those guys on your team. And like I said, all five players can't be offensively, players, because there's not enough balls to go around. And if a player like that is a stretch five, he's going to command a max contract, like 120, 140 million dollars. So you don't want to be paying like everybody at every position $100-something million, because their game is like, they fully developed, like all-stars or something like that. Somebody got to do the dirty work, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, Mitch, he complements our team real well. Like I said, he's the anchor of the team on defense. That's what he does that well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he gets hurt here and there, but like I said, when he's healthy, he's one of the best rim protectors and better rebounder in this league, especially offensive rebounds. So you can't go wrong with him. So, like I said, some of the fan base are a little bit, on Mitch. Like I said, I like Mitch. Mitch is good. He's good for what we do and what we need. So Mitch is not a problem. Iheart, another player who comes off the bench, fills in for Mitch. Hey, he spells Mitch, foul trouble, this and that. I'm good with that too. He's only making $8 million a season or not, whatever it is. I'm good with that. a play like iHeart. When Mitch goes down, iHeart can step in there and do the same things that Mitch can do, or to a certain degree, not the same thing, but to a certain degree, which is good. You need that. And then also, like I say, RJ Barrett's going to come back. He's going to every season, he improves his game, so he's going to go work on his game. Like I said, Jalen Brunson going to come back healthy. And looking at Jalen Brunson this year, like I said, coming this year, last year in a free agency, I was more on the Dejounte Murray on the Knicks because I know he's a triple double, he's a two-way player, things like that. Plus, you know what I'm saying, he's fast, he's long. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Brunson, I was like, yeah, Jalen Brunson, he's okay, but he don't move the needle. But he totally surprised me, man. He just totally surprised me. I was happy that we got him and stuff like that. I mean, he was a godsend. Like I said, I give him his props. I was wrong about him. I give him his props. And like I said, without him, we probably would have got swept in the first round. You know what I'm saying? That man was playing on one leg, so that's what I give to him and stuff like that. All right. Let's
Salute.
let's welcome him in. G Money in the house. This is G Money Encyclopedia. You know what I'm saying? And also G Money is on his podcast. So tell what podcast you on, and tell people to hit that like and subscribe button and subscribe to your podcast, man. Because as a Knicks family, you know what I'm saying, we all we got. We gotta help each other out. We're gonna subscribe. We you know what I'm saying, everybody keep pushing everybody's platform.
Right. My podcast is called The Last Laugh Podcast. The Last Laugh Podcast with me, Biggie, Prince, and Zach. So please subscribe to my show, The Last Laugh Podcast, because we bring you the meat and potatoes of each story.
What nights to come on, or what nights are?
It depends, though. We'll let you know. It depends. Sometimes we come in Mondays,
Okay.
Wednesdays, whatever. It depends, though.
Okay, well, just hit that subscribe button on his channel and stuff like that, and also hit that notification bell so that way, as soon as they come on, you'll get that notification like they're on or what time they're going on. You know what I'm saying? G Money, thanks for coming in the crib, man. Thanks for coming in the house, man. And I know you got some things to say about, the Knicks offseason trade rumors and, trades and things like that, and also about the Bradley Beal deal, that's not really completed yet.
Well, let's start with the Bradley Beal thing first. We'll get to the Knicks. Bradley Beal to the Suns, more than likely. To the Suns, I'm 50-50 about this trade. It helps the Suns as far as scoring wise, but defense wise, they're still weaker. They're still weaker like a sloth. Like they still need to improve the defense though. They need a big man. They need a bench. Brad Beal doesn't move the needle that much. He helps scoring, put him racking up the points. He is athletic, but he can shoot. At the same time, they don't need another guard. They need another. They need a point guard, and they just need a bench though. So when Katie and D Book sit down and rest, the bench can hold the fort. So I don't know. I'm 50-50 about the trade.
Yeah, I think they got who's their guard? I think it's Cameron Payne that's still there. That's about it. Is that about it?
Yeah, Cameron Payne. They also have Damian Lee, but he's not a point guard. Ish Wainwright.
Right.
They traded away Landry Shamet CP3 to get Brad Beal.
Right. So yeah, I think if I saw it, they only have like 4 or 5 players under contract. So that's they have to fill out that team with like veteran minimum or some type of, to fill out that team, man, because you got your starting 5. 4 of your guys is making like 50 million, going to be making 50 million to 40 million a season or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because DeAndre Ayton just got his contract last year, and I know that. I mean, they was thinking about they wanted to trade him or get rid of him, but they end up keeping him or signing him because I guess they didn't want to lose him for nothing. So that was another thing. But like I said earlier, I said I thought they was going to include him in a deal, but then I thought about the Wizards probably don't want that contract. If they got rid of Bradley Beal's contract, they wanted to start off fresh and then clean out with the salary cap, to have the salary cap go down. So that's why they didn't include DeAndre Ayton in the deal, because I was like, how did he didn't go in the deal? But, it kind of makes sense now. But he still could be moved. He still could be moved. They have a 3 or 4 team deal, though. You know what I'm saying? He still could be moved.
Mm-hmm.
To clear some room and things like that. But like I said, if the deal stays the way it is, to me, like I said, it's just it sounds like fish heads and rice to me. You know what I'm saying? That's not really nothing, but I think that's just the start of it. So we'll see what happens if these other teams get involved. If they do get involved, I think the Clippers will get involved, to get Chris Paul to be rerouted to them. You know, I know Lakers want him too, but we'll see what happens.
Right. I think the Wiz could let CP3 go. I don't see any way the Wiz keep CP3. I think the two things: either to swap him out to a new place, or he gets waived and he goes to either the Bucks, the Celtics, or Clips to try and chase that elusive gold ball on his finger.
You know it's kind of weird. You know what's kind of weird about the Chris Paul thing, because like what's that, a week ago they said they had waived him, or they was going to waive him, and then also now they held on to him, and now he's part of the trade to get Bradley Beal.
Mm-hmm.
Because we thought he was going to get waived, a week ago. You know what I'm saying? And then also they held on to him to include him in this deal, which I didn't think was going to happen. But hey,
right.
that was smart on their part.
Right. Yeah.
So what do you think about all the other rumors like Karl Anthony Towns and all that stuff? I know some Knicks fans don't want him. Some Knicks fans probably do want him, but I don't know. Like I said, it's interesting to see what's going to happen on draft night or something like that. If some players are going to be moved or they're not going to be moved. Like I said, it's going to be interesting for us because we don't have no picks in the whole draft. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's not too hard to get a draft pick in their second round or late first round. It's not too hard to do that.
Right. I don't think the Knicks will get a pick this draft. I doubt it though. You would need to trade like either Obi or something like that to get a pick, but I don't think that's going to happen. Well, I think Obi will get traded, and I have a bold prediction. I think Randall or Barrett is gone this offseason. One of them is gone this offseason.
You said they're going to break it up. They got to break it up. Barrett and Randall.
I have a weird feeling they will.
Well, guess what? I guess if it depends on who they trade for. If it's a big blockbuster trade, then probably one of them will have to go. You know what I'm saying? Then in that sense. And if they do happen, do you think that's going to be draft night or probably after the draft or because
I think it's going to be after the draft because even though draft night trades happen, not as much compared to back then. So I think it's going to be after draft night when things are settled down though, because I think people will be more focused on the draft though compared to the trade. So I think that Leon Rose is gonna and World Wide West is gonna make a big splash after the draft. Do not even be surprised on July 4th. Keep that out. We munching on barbecue and hamburgers and pizza and hot dog. Don't be surprised to get a Knicks trade RJ Barrett for you. You know why?
Right. And that happens too. You know what I'm saying? In the offseason, that's what the offseason is for. Like I said, teams probably hit a reset, or sometimes they want to just add more pieces, and they feel like if this piece is not helping us, we can go get another piece that could possibly help us, and trade something. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like that, and it's like, what do you think with Damian Lillard? Okay, well, have a second, but like I said. Yeah, but like I said, as far as like with Damian Lillard, it's just like he's like a Bradley Beal too. He's loyal to his team too. But it looks like Portland's in a predicament where if they could get an established player to trade the number 3 pick, they'll do that to add to Damian Lillard. But if they can't find one, I think they're gonna have to end up trading Damian Lillard just to do the rebuild, because I doubt Lillard wants to stay there again with the rebuild and go through it. I don't think he wants to.
I think he wants to stay. I even read a report that he wants to stay. Look, I like Dame.
He always wants to stay.
Dame. Dame's a great player. Look, I respect Dame as a person. I respect Dame as a player. And this is just me. I don't respect him staying in Portland. I don't respect that. I don't understand why you stay on a team that has given you help, but not championship help, and then complain for, I want more help. You had LaMarcus Aldridge, you had Seth Curry, you had C.J. McCollum, you had Carmelo Anthony, you had Norman Powell, you had Rodney Hood, you had Myers Leonard, you had Nick Batum, Wes Matthews, you had help before. I'm not saying it was dynasty help or anything. It was still decent help. Gary Trent, Anthony Simons, you had help though. Yusuf Nurkic. Look, Dame's a great player. He's a star, but I just think Dame gets too many passes for failing in the playoffs. Like, again, people keep coming up with this excuse, oh, I didn't expect Dame to win. It doesn't matter what you expect. It doesn't matter. I didn't expect Dirk to win in 2011, but he did. I didn't expect Jimmy Butler and the Heat to make the finals this year, but it happened. It doesn't matter what you and I expected. The reality is he's 22-39 in the playoffs. He's in my opinion, Dame is a great player, Hall of Famer. He's great in the regular season, but he's inconsistent in the playoffs. He shoots 41% in the playoffs. You can't dispute that. And he shoots 42% elimination games and 29% from three. That's inconsistent in the playoffs. He's had some moments, yes, but I want to ask people this question. Other than the Rockets series in 2014 and the Thunder series in 2019, the first round, name me a great series Dame had in the playoffs. He hasn't had much great series. In 2018 against the Pelicans, he shot, 35% from the field, 30% from three, only had one 20-point game. In 2016, he shot 36% from the field. I remember in game 4, he went 9 for 30, and game 5 was 7 for 24. I know the Warriors went 73-9 in 2016, but remember, Steph Curry didn't play the first 3 games because of sprained MCL. And in 2018, like I said, he shot 35% against the Pelicans. And remember, DeMarcus Cousins didn't play. And in 2019, he played great versus the OKC Thunder. In the second round, he shot 40% from the field and 29% for 3 against the Nuggets, which is inconsistent. And against the Warriors, without KD, mind you, no KD, no Boogie Cousins, Iggy missed game 4. He shot, 37% from the field and 31% in the fourth quarter. Again, I like Dame Dollar, but people need to use some sort of context. 2022 or 21. I know people that say, oh, look at the numbers. Let's use context, people. In game 2, he went 2 for 9 in the second half. Game 3, he went 7 of 18 in the second half. Game 4, he went 1 for 10 the whole game. The Blazers still won by 20. And in game 6, he went 1 for. He only hit 1 shot in the fourth quarter. Dame's a great player, but he's inconsistent in the playoffs.
So let me ask you this question: What about Dame on the Miami Heat though, with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo? How do you think he's?
I think it'll be a good move because the Heat needs scoring. I think that'll be a good move. I think Dame with Butler and Bam would be a great move in my opinion. Because even though, yes, they would need a big, I think first they need a guard. And I think Dame would fit nice with Butler and Bam because you got a guy who can stretch the floor and can finish at the rim.
You're right.
I think Dame would fit with that.
Yeah. Go ahead. What you say?
No, that's it. That's what I had to say. I think Dame would fit nice for the Heat.
Yeah, because I think, like I said, I think Dame's problem in Portland was something like that. Yeah, he had some players with him. The only thing was like the LaMarcus Aldridge. I really wish LaMarcus Aldridge would have stayed in Portland, but I know he left. He left Dame early. He left Dame to go to San Antonio because San Antonio's a franchise that's winning championships, so he left. And I thought him, CJ McCollum, and LaMarcus Aldridge and Dame would have been a great 3 in Portland if they'd have stayed together for a while. I think they would have done some things because LaMarcus Aldridge in the playoffs he was that player. He was that dog. He was averaging like 30-something points. He was beasting in the playoffs.
2014 against the Rockets, that was his best playoffs. I know to me, Aldridge is kind of streaky in the playoffs. Aldridge kind of hot and cold in the playoffs. But like you said, at that time, he was a top 5 power forward at that time. I'm not saying about I'm talking about at that time.
Right.
Because he could stroke it from the mid-range.
Oh, that jumper was silky.
His junket was smooth like
butter. He's like butter. He's like butter. I mean, his stuff was like. I mean, he was one of the best shooting big men. I mean, he was the best shooting big man. He was rebounding. He was doing double doubles and stuff like that. I just wish he would have stayed in Portland, man. But I understood at the time he wanted to go win that championship with San Antonio, and so I couldn't buy. And that's another thing. He stayed in Portland for a while, and nothing happened for him in Portland. He just had to leave. He didn't even care if Damian Lillard or CJ McCollum was there. He's like, look, I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Same thing with Damian Lillard. He got to go too. But him like Bradley Beal to me is always the same because they are so loyal. They want to stay with these teams. It's like, hell, these teams they're not winning the championship for you. It's like you got to go earlier, man. You got to go.
And look at Bradley Beal. Even Bradley Beal just waited for no trade clause. So at least Bradley Beal finally saw the light.
Yeah, and I even said that on early on that the little side story to this. Bradley Beal he had a no trade clause, and his agent is the father of the Suns GM, so I see how that went down. You know what I'm saying? Josh Bartlestein is the GM of the Suns, and Mark Bartlestein is Bradley Beal's agent. So the father and son probably worked that out, to get him to Phoenix.
James Jones.
Yeah, James Jones. But Bartlestein is was the one that actually had to make the deal too. You know what I'm saying? So he helped on the inside and that's how it went down. That's how it went down because I know he got a no trade clause and he can control where he goes. And I was just like, what? Wait, you go to Phoenix? I'm not to say it's a bad move, but it's just like how that happened is like it wasn't like it was a bidding war for him, which I thought the Wizards should have put it out there and just be like, hey, we open the trade, you know what I'm saying, to see what they could get. And they just hurried and went with Phoenix over. I think Miami made an offer, but they say it wasn't too strong. I don't know how true that is, you know what I'm saying? But I think if it's a father and son making, they're going to do what they want to do to get God to steer them to their team. So it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? I can't blame, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, he gave his to Washington, and that was it, man. It was time for him to go. He played 11 seasons in Washington?
Yeah, 2012, 13 to now 11 years, yeah.
Man, it's like so he's on the move. Like I said, don't be sorry if Damian Lillard would be on the move. Karl Anthony Towns is like, yo, this season, like I said, it could be a lot of them players on the move, or it can't be. It could be all smoke screen. You know what I'm saying? Because like a team might be like, you know what, let's run it back, and let's see what we can do this year. But I think after this year, if things don't work out or things keep having the same thing happen, a team like, you know what, let's just blow it up. Let's because I think with the Timberwolves, I think Anthony Edwards is like their number one priority because he's and I know they would they would love to get from out under Rudy Gobert's contract, but I don't think nobody's really trying to take that on. So other than that, like I said, and then on draft night is like, so what do you think? We all know what's going to go number one. So what do you think Charlotte going to do at number two? Because they talk about trades too, but that's all could be a smoke screen. Because if they keep the pick, we think it's going to be Scoot Henderson or it's going to be Brandon Miller.
Yeah, I think it'll be Brandon Miller. If you're the Hornets, you need a forward though. But Kelly Oubre probably being gone, Gordon Hayward probably being traded.
Miles Bridges, who knows?
Yeah, Miles Bridges with his stuck in hot water right now. If you're the Hornets, you need a bulky, strong, athletic freak that could crush the rim and could stroke it. Brandon Miller would be nice for the Hornets though. Because they need a big man that could put the ball on the floor, that could finish at the rim. The problem with the Hornets historically, their big man has been just softer than American cheese, and that's gonna be an issue there. So
they got the dude from Duke last year, Mark Williams. You know what I'm saying? So he's
Mark
like that.
Williams is good. Mark Williams is pretty good.
Yeah. So they got that. So they could. Yeah, I think Brandon Miller will be a good fit with the Hornets because Scoot Henderson and LaMelo Ball, if they do that, I don't know, but then another thing, Scoot Henderson in Portland with Damian Lillard, I don't know how that's going to work. I don't think it's going to. So it's like Scoot Henderson, like you either going to go from the number 2 pick or you're going to go to number 4. I forgot who has 4, but I know it's Portland at 3.
Yeah,
Detroit has 5. Detroit has 5.
Yeah.
I forgot who.
Well, the number 4 pick it is Houston.
Oh yeah, the Rockets, and yeah. See the Rockets. He could go there because the Rockets they needed just by any position. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they could take Scoot Henderson in that position.
If you get Scoot, you think it's going to fit with Kevin Porter and Jalen Green?
Yeah, because Scoot Henderson would be the point guard. So he's the point guard. Jalen Green is what, the 2 and Porter's the 3? Is it something like that? Is it Porter the 2 or
Kevin Porter's the 2? Jalen Green. Let's see. Yeah, Kevin Porter's the 2. Jalen Green's really more the 1. Sometimes it's a combo. Sometimes though. Yeah,
if they get Scoot Henderson, Jalen Green's got to move to either the 2 or the 3 because I mean Scoot Henderson's like he's a point guard, so he'll Jalen Green is he's a good player. He's not really a point guard though, you know what I'm saying? So they need a point guard that can really so Scoot Henderson he'll fit there. Right. So Scoot Henderson he could fit nicely there at number 4. But they keep saying he's at number 2, but like I said, who knows? I mean, they say the Hornets, if they make a deal with the Pelicans want Scoot Henderson, but the Hornets want Brandon Ingram. And I don't know if they're gonna give him if they get Brandon Ingram, he goes home because he's from North Carolina. So he'll get to go home, But I don't know, man. This draft, like I said, after number 1, I really don't know after number 1 what's going to happen. Number 2 is where the draft really starts, with Charlotte, and then see what Portland does, with the number 3 pick. If they trade the pick or they keep on the pick and they sit on the pick, and then who they going to pick at number 3, Because if Charlotte picks Scoot Henderson at number 2, Portland definitely taking Brandon Miller at number 3. Either way, Brandon Miller going to go 2 or 3.
You think Brandon Miller's going to favor Shannon Sharp, though?
Huh?
You think Brandon Miller would favor a guy like Shaden Sharp who had a good rookie year?
Yeah, he'll take. Yeah, Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller's that type of player, bro. He's like 6'8", 6'9", or whatever and stuff like that. You don't find too many of those with that. I mean, he's a one and done freshman that can shoot. He can score on all three levels. He can play defense too. So that's what they want. They want somebody that can do that. You know, he looks like he's going to be a future All-Star. Brandon Miller looks like a future All-Star once that body fills out and stuff like that and he gets more comfortable. Watching him play at Alabama, I was just like, is this dude really a freshman? You know what I'm saying? Is he really a freshman? You look at it as like, I mean, at 6'8", 6'9", the way he moves on the court, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. And he can shoot that rock, man. So, yeah, I don't think that if Portland get a chance to get Brandon Miller, they'll take him if, depending on what they do with the number 3 pick, if they trade or whatever they do. Everything falls on like what they can get for number 3. If they can't get that veteran or that player that they want in the NBA, they're going to take that, they're going to keep the pick. But like I said, but then that'll mean like if they keep that pick, then that mean like shit, Damian Lillard probably on his way out. So we'll see. Like I said, this draft is like, like some people say it's like a deep draft. I mean, I looked at it as like it's okay to me. I don't, how do you feel about it? Because I think it's just like in the top with the lottery stuff, and then after that, and then what's that number 10 on the Mavericks at number 10. Yeah, they I think they want that the kid from Duke, I think Derek Lively. I think who's been saying that? The Warriors and somebody been trying to get they want to draft him or something like that because he's a 7-foot shot blocker, somebody like that, rim protector, things like that. So
yeah, like a Tyson Chandler who can protect the rim and athletic, yeah.
Exactly. And he can shoot. I mean, he played for Duke, but I mean, he didn't really get to show that off because, like I said, he was injured early in the season and Duke didn't need him to do that, but yeah, he's supposed to could shoot 3-point shots too, but you really don't want too much of that, but if he could shoot it and be a stretch, something like that, almost like how the Pacers, Miles Turner, Miles Turner he could shoot threes and stuff like that and rebound and shot block, things like that. So if you can get that, then, it is what it is. But like I said, it's going to be very interesting though, man, and stuff that.
Man, this draft, get your popcorn, get your soda pop ready. Kick back, man. It's gonna be crazy. This draft is gonna be crazy. Keep your phones out. Your phones are gonna blow up. Watch.
You think it's like, it's gonna be some trades being made? Like teams are gonna be like teams gonna be trading out of the first round, or trading some of their players or something like that, or some teams that don't have. How many teams don't have it? Because I know the Knicks don't have nothing. It could be some other teams, and some teams end up trading into the first round too sometimes, and just to get a player. Like I know. Yeah, because I know some teams like, who does that? Golden State and San Antonio used to be good for doing that, getting in the back end of the first round and getting a player that slips all the way down. You know what I'm saying? Getting a good value pick. Or sometimes they used to pick those foreign players to stash overseas, right?
Mm-hmm.
They do that too. Spurs has always been the Spurs have always been good with foreign players. Hopefully we can do.
Right, the Sixers don't have a draft pick. The Knicks don't have a draft pick. The Sixers don't have a draft pick. The Knicks don't have a draft pick. Also, the Bulls don't have a draft pick.
The Bulls don't?
No, they don't. Not this year. No.
Oh yeah, the Bulls don't. The Bulls don't because it's probably Lonzo Ball and some other players. They Vucevic, probably some of them deals that they made in the past. Because that's what happened with some of them picks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. You said the Wizards. The Wizards don't.
Yeah, the Wizards don't. Right. The Wizards don't.
They're gonna get some. They're gonna get some real quick though. They're gonna get some.
Excuse me, made mistake. They're number 8. Mindful. Scratch that.
You said the Wizards have the what?
The Wizards do have a draft pick. Mindful. I made mistake. They're number 8.
Oh, they got the number 8 pick. Oh, okay. Yeah, they need that 8th pick to really.
The Lakers don't have a draft pick.
Yeah, I can see that. Lakers, a lot of contending teams, they don't trade away the assets. I know Phoenix probably don't because Phoenix, I know they probably don't have a first round because they don't trade it in the KD deal or something else. Yeah, they have the second round. They have the second round pick. I know they don't have the first round pick because they traded in the KD deal and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But yeah, like I said, but you know what though? You gotta watch out for the Suns too, because when the team when they done trade a lot of players too, and they need to fill out them roster spots, they're gonna try to get like young draft picks, what I'm saying, to fill it out, So they could slip up in there and, buy a pick or something like that to get a shooter or something like, somebody like that. So you always gotta watch out for those teams, what I'm saying, the teams that really need like, like low, like low salary players. So you gotta watch out for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, Thursday night, man, we'll be back on Thursday night, man, to watch this draft and see what happens, man. But I some people say nothing might. I think something's gonna happen though, But if it don't, what I'm saying, then what? Free agency starts like a week later, June 29th, and then we'll see what happens in free agency and see like what team. Like I said, some players have already opted, like Kyle Kuzma opted out. I know Gary Trent picked up his option, so he's back on the Raptors. I know Van Fleet, Fred Van Fleet, he opted out. So it could be some other more opting out too.
Kyle Kuzma too. Draymond Green and Kyle Kuzma.
Oh yeah, Draymond. Yeah, Draymond opted out. You think he's going back to the Warriors, or I mean, he just opted out to get a little longer deal to stay with the Warriors? Or you think he's gone?
I think Dre's gone this all season.
You think he's gone? I mean, where do you think he want to go? You know what I'm saying? Have he said, or have they said like where they think he might end up?
Well, the teams that I could see him going to. And one of them is a shocker. Lakers, Suns, and I'm gonna shock people, the Pistons. Here's why I put Detroit in there.
Yeah, he's from home. That's his hometown team,
yeah.
right?
Michigan, yeah. So I think 3 teams gonna go, either the Lakers, the Suns, or the Pistons. I don't think he's gonna stay with the Warriors. Because if he's gonna stay with the Warriors, you might as well trade Jordan Poole or Andrew Wiggins.
So let me ask you, with Draymond Green, but he's opting out of $27 million. You think he's going to go to the Suns for a veteran minimum? Because the Suns don't have no money.
Well, the Suns could. It is a possibility. They could do
or they could do a trade exception. A trade exception.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think that would happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I know the Lakers. The Lakers always be over the cap anyway. So I don't know how they would, or but what's his name is he's not coming back, right? D'Angelo Russell might not come back. I don't think he's going to come back.
Yeah, he ain't coming back to the Lakers. He's gonna frolic away from LA.
He said he's gonna frolic away from LA. Yeah, he had a poor playoff, man. I really thought.
I thought he played well the first 2 rounds.
Oh yeah.
I thought he played well against the Grizz and the Warriors, but in the Nuggets, man, he lost his nugget and he lost his game against the Nuggets.
Wow, I really thought he was going to do well because it's like, he don't have no pressure on him. Pressure's on LeBron and AD. All he got to do is just make shots and just play his game with no pressure and stuff like that. I thought he was going to do his thing, but he didn't. It kind of surprised me. And then his defense got exposed in the playoffs.
Big time. He got killed on drives, slip rolls, pick and rolls. His jumper looked funky. I mean, he just wasn't attacking the hoop at times. I mean, the dude went 10 for 31 in the conference final, and he missed a lot of open looks. You got Michael Porter on you, KCP,
right?
I mean, Aaron Gordon. He just couldn't find a shot though, and he's getting good on drives. Do you know how many times Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon, and KCP was just driving at the rim at will and
on him, right? Right, on him, and they exposed him. They had to sit him on the bench sometimes because he was like a sieve. You know what I'm saying? It's like teams are just going at him, and man, his confidence was shot too. When that started happening, your confidence gets shot because guys are getting you in foul trouble, and you're like, man, you know what I'm saying? Everybody booing you. You know what I'm saying? You start getting booed, and that plays a part in your head too. You know what I'm saying?
Good point. And I know we're talking about the Knicks, but I think the Lakers are going to make a lot of moves. Troy Brown is going to be gone. They got to find a way to re-sign Austin Reeves, but it's going to be tough. Don't be surprised if a team like the Spurs, or the Rockets give him a lot of money. Don't be surprised.
You think they're going to give him like $100 million? Because I think he's going to get like $80 or $100 million. Austin Reeves.
Around that. Because the Spurs and the Rockets got some cap space, so I can see that though. And the Lakers just got to find a way to match that. Rui Hachimura might be. I think Rui Hachimura probably will stay, but don't be surprised if he's gone. Dennis Schroeder might be gone. The Lakers will look a whole lot of different. Might be a lot of clean house.
Yeah, I think Rui should stay because his game really kind of elevated with the Lakers this year in the playoffs. I mean, he looked like a different player, than he was in Washington. You know what I'm saying? This is the player that Washington envisioned when they drafted him. I mean, I was like, man, this dude playing with so much confidence. I mean, he's like hitting threes, driving to the basket, with no hesitation and just taking like, with authority. I'm like, whoa, this play right, this Rui, right. So yeah, and I could see Rui staying, but hey, if he leaves, then what I'm saying, that's another option. Like some teams might have, because I think this is his 5th year too. Yeah, because he was in that draft too. I think he's coming up with a payday.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that's true. But I think they'll keep him though. I think they'll
So you
keep
think?
him.
So you think with the Lakers?
Yeah.
So you think with the Lakers is like, they're gonna run it back with AD and LeBron again, or because I know even though LeBron said I know LeBron's coming back, at least for one more season or something like that. So he's gonna run it back. So it was like, who do they, like you said, like I think Rui stays. Schroeder might be going. I kind of see it. I know D'Angelo's definitely going. Troy Brown, he could stay. You know what I'm saying? Austin Reeves, I think they want to keep him, but like you said, who knows? I mean, he's from Arkansas or Oklahoma. He's going to go. OKC would be but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Tristan Thompson, I think, is gone. Tristan Thompson, Wayne Gabriel will probably be gone. They got Malik Beasley, he's under contract, but who knows? They might swap him. I think LA's going to look a whole lot different next year. And I have one question for you, though. Some people say the Denver Nuggets are going to grab the league by the throat. Looking at the core of Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon, KCP, Nikola Jokic, and Jamal Murray, do you think this team and I think they're going to lose Bruce Brown, but do you think, looking at the roster right now for the Nuggets, do you see Denver dominating the league for years to come?
No, I think within the next year or 2 years. I mean, I could see them within the next year or 2 years, but I mean, it's hard for a team to really dominate for a long time unless they got young key pieces. I think Denver has two. They got the Joker and they got Jamal Murray. That third player, like I said, Michael Porter is another player. You know what I'm saying? If he ups his game more, yeah, they could, but the NBA, the NBA is it's like one season's like, injuries is part of the game. So they can have a major injury to somebody and they could be done, you know what I'm saying? Like how Jamal Murray, if he goes down again.
And Michael Porter also.
And Michael Porter. So that injuries is always part of the game. But if they stay healthy, they're gonna be a formidable team though. They could be in it for a while, because like I said, those guys are still young, you know what I'm saying? Michael Porter is young. Jamal Murray ain't that old either. So let's say another window, let's say a 4 or 5 year window, they can win at least one more championship if they stay healthy and stuff like that.
That's true. That's true. Michael Porter's 24, Jamal Murray's 26, and Nikola Jokic is 28 though. And here's the thing, right? I have a weird feeling that Bruce Brown is going to be gone this offseason because the Nuggets have some big contracts to fill. They got food they got players or kids to fill. So I just think that Bruce Brown's gone this offseason though.
Yeah, but yeah, I think he has a player option, so he could opt back into his thing. I think he has a player option. I think it's 6.6 something million, $6 or $7 million. I think he got.
I know that. Let me check his contract. I know he has one for $7 million.
Yeah, so I could see him coming back on that. You know what I'm saying? Not unless some other team.
$7 million. Yeah, he has a player option. Yeah.
Yeah, but I could see it. The only way he'll leave, except somebody give him more money, he could go to the other team. But when you win a championship, sometimes you might want to stay there, you know what I'm saying, for another year and see what happens, especially if you're playing with, like, the best player in the league, one of the best players in the league, and Jokic, you know what I'm saying, and if Murray's back healthy again, you know what I'm saying, you want to run it back and see if you can win back-to-back. Everybody wants that back-to-back challenge.
Right, that's true. If I were Bruce Brown, I would stay in Denver. I mean, Michael Porter is young. Jamal Murray's young, getting better. Joker, I mean, he has a whole lot of chicks up his sleeve. Best player in the NBA.
And then you got the veteran. Then you got the veteran KCP.
Christian Braun, he really improved these playoffs. I mean, I think Jeff Green's going to retire. I think DeAndre Jordan might retire. Reggie Jackson, I don't think he'll retire, but I don't think he'll be in Denver next year. If I were Bruce Brown, why not stay with these guys and try to go back to back?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, listen, I agree with you, man. So, I mean, out of the West, though, it's like so far as like Denver, is that the team? Phoenix is going to be, up there with Denver next year. We're going to see how they're going to play out, with that three, with the big three up in Phoenix to see how they play. But always injuries is always part of the game too. With the big three, with KD gets hurt. If he gets hurt, that is down to Booker and Beal. And Beal, for the last 3 seasons, he hasn't played more than 60 games in a season. So, he misses games too, but I mean, I don't think he has no really big time injuries, but he misses games too.
Yeah, he is injury prone. Yeah, he is, and he's very hobbled and injury prone. That's gonna be big if you're the Suns. For this, and also what the Suns really need to do. I know DeAndre Ayton can protect the rim, but DeAndre Ayton, man, I know he has a decent mid-range shot, but to me, he's just too. How can I say in a nice way? He's not interested in the game sometimes, though. And I think if I were the Suns, you gotta trade him though for a good piece back. Don't just trade him to trade him. Don't just do that. But the guy trade for another big that can stretch the floor and it can also defend, but that wants to play there. I don't think DeAndre Ayton wants to play in Phoenix still. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think with DeAndre and it's like me personally, I think the Suns just got to get rid of him because they got to get that contract off their books to free up some things to add more pieces. I think addition by subtraction would be the best thing for them if they could somehow get him to a team and get back an expiring contract to get that contract off. That's the only thing. Because if you could get it off, then you can also say add a little bit more pieces. Then you can have a little more breathing room. So that ain't I think that would be the best thing for them to do because if he stays on that team, man, they're gonna be cash strapped. They're gonna be strapped. They're gonna be strapped, and that's when you strapped. Though, it's things is like you really can't do nothing. It's like your hands is tied, and we will keep talking about the injury again. If a couple of your key players get injured, it's a disaster. It's gonna be a disaster. So I think Phoenix would be like the team with Denver. Too bad. Oh, how can I forget the Sacramento Kings? Sacramento Kings, they up and coming. They're coming. They're coming. You know what I'm saying? They are coming, man. I mean, they showed Golden State in that playoff. I was like, oh my God, if De'Aaron Fox, if he didn't break his finger, I think they probably would have won that series.
For me, man, the Kings overachieved last year. 48 wins. They start, and people forget the Kings started off 0-4 this season, and then they turned things around in a hurry. Best offensive rating in NBA history, led the league in scoring. They're athletic, they're fast with De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, Davion Mitchell, who took a next step. Malik Monk was a monster. 6 man a year. I mean, Keegan Murray.
Yeah, he's a good rookie.
Good, that can stroke the three, and he's athletic though. Kevin Huerter. His touch was there. He struggled in the playoffs, but his touch was there. Good playmaker. Harrison Barnes brought that veteran leadership. A good year. Trey Lyles balled out off the bench. Alex Len. What Sacramento needs, they need a big man, a true center. Sabonis is more of a power forward. I know he can rebound the ball, but he's more of a powerful, not real center. They need a true center and defenders in there. If they can get some defenders in there to help out Davion Mitchell, and De'Aaron Fox can continue to skyrocket, the Kings are going to be on top of the world. They'll be on top of the world if they do those things, though. And Mike Brown.
So what do you think about Harrison Barnes? Is he coming back, or is he a free agent, Harrison Barnes?
He's a free agent, though. I don't know for sure if he'll come back. I'm 50-50 he's going to come back. I want to ask you, do you think Draymond Green would be nice for Harrison Barnes if you're the Kings?
You say if he was to go to the Sacramento Kings, Draymond Green?
Yeah.
You know what? I could see that. I know Sabonis is there too, you know what I'm saying? But I could see Draymond over there. I could see that. That'll actually be a good thing for him though to go to Sacramento because like I said, they're young and up and coming, and like I said, they play fast. You know what I'm saying? So that'll be a good thing that'll be a good thing. But for some reason, I always see Draymond just going back to the Warriors, though. I think he just wants to get more money and stuff like that.
Money. I just don't because how much what's the contract going to be? Because if you can keep Draymond, you might as well trade Jordan Poole. Right. Yeah, something's going on with that dynamic with Jordan Poole and Draymond Green. So something's going off. It's off there, right there. So like I said, Jordan Poole's he's a nice young player and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying, but. I see something going on with that. It's like something has to give. If Draymond comes back, like I said, they might trade Jordan Poole. If not, who knows? Draymond Green might sign somewhere else. If he signs somewhere else, then is that the end of the Warriors? But big time. That would be because remember, Steph is getting old. Steph is 35. Clay is 33. Steph and Clay are more injured.
I forgot about them guys. They don't even look it though, man. They look so young. You just forget about the age. Just keep going up. You forget about that. I forget about that, man. And then the thing with Clay is like Clay don't have he like what 2 ACL injuries, so it's like he had
an Achilles injury. It was before the season began in 2021. His Achilles blew out because he was playing pickup, and then he torn his ACL in 2019 in games against the Raptors. So he had one torn ACL injury and the torn Achilles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I could see that, man. But like I said, I think those will be the three. Those will be the three teams out west: is Phoenix, Denver, and Sacramento. Am I missing something? Memphis. I guess with John Morant, he's gonna miss
Nah,
25 games. He's gonna miss 25 games. So
25 games. I think it's gonna be a year. You have an echo, by the way, man. You have. I think it's gonna be a year. It's gonna be a year. I hate it for the Grizzlies. I mean, look, they have a nice young player, Jaren Jackson. The guy finally keep Tyus Jones. John Morant's a nice player, but here's my advice for Ja.
mm-hmm.
You're a good guy. You're a good player. Great. I think it's a good dude. You gotta keep. It's okay to make mistakes, man. It's okay. At the same time, get your head on straight. You don't need to wave. You don't need to wave a gun like a party animal, like a monkey, and do crazy stuff. Nah, man. You gotta be smart, man. You gotta be logical. You gotta. You don't need to listen to people tell you to wave your gun. Don't listen to those people. Ignore them.
Wave your gun.
Exactly. Don't wave your gun, man. It's just dumb. It's dumb. Like, you're a good player, Ja. It's okay to fail. At the same time, man, you gotta be smart. Yes, you're gonna have to make mistakes. It's cool. At the same time, you gotta think and use logic. You don't need to wave your gun like a party animal and try to be fun. Fancy. What are you trying to prove, man? That's not making you tough at all. That's not. And punching and kicking and beating up kids, man, at the time. Come on, man. That's not tough. That's cheap, man.
Yeah, man. I think with Ja, man, he just needs to, like I said, his team depends on him. He's like, you can't be suspended for that many games, bro. You gotta wisen up. And you're a role model for a lot of kids, man. Just keep your head on straight. Like I said, you wanted to. I mean, he could have been the face of the league, you know what I'm saying? But now with this, now it's like that messes up. It's like, you're not gonna be the face of the league. It's like, you could have been the face of the league, but it's like you messing that up. It's like just be yourself, be humble, like I said, and hopefully he learned from it. I think he has learned from it and stuff like that. Just go forward and stuff like that, and because the Memphis has a nice young team, you know what I'm saying. So
you do, Jackson, Adama, Desmond Bain, yeah.
Oh, but Dylan Brooks is gone. He's gone. Yeah. And Dylan Brooks is gone. But they got a nice young coach. So I mean they'll fill his spot with somebody. Yeah, they'll fill a spot with somebody else and stuff like that, man. So that'll be for like Memphis as a team. I mean, even though he's gonna miss 25 games to see how far back they are by the time he gets back, but if they're not really that far back, there's like I said, there might be a good in the playoff. That'd be a good playoff, matchup with one of those teams or something like that. But those like the four right there, You know what I'm saying? Well, the Lakers is always, depends on how they, what happens in the offseason, but I don't know, man. And the Clippers, I forgot about the Clippers, but the thing about them, they got to be healthy though. Kawhi and Paul George, they got to play. They got to stay healthy somehow. They got to stay healthy, and if they can stay healthy, I think they could do some things if they can stay healthy. But that's always the biggest question with them: is can they stay healthy?
They need to win the championship. They have all the ingredients: point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. They have all the shopping list to raise the trophy. But like you said, I agree. Health and consistency. This team can be streaky sometimes. Health and consistency.
Yeah, and I've seen a report like if Chris Paul gets rerouted to the Clippers, then Russell Westbrook will probably leave and go to Phoenix because he could sign a veteran minimum or something like that, or whatever he's gonna do, or if they have an exception, Because if Chris Paul comes, he's like they say he's gonna go to Phoenix. That's what the report is, but who knows how true that is? But you just never know. Or he might want to stay. He had a good time with the Clippers, so you just never know.
Right. If Russ somehow went to join the Suns, that's not a bad move.
It's not.
It's not, because think about it. Now you finally get that point guard you need. Imagine starting five: Russ, D Book, Brad Beal, Durantula. And instead of having 18, yeah. But let's do a caveat. Let's say they trade for Kristaps Porzingis. You think that's a good starting five? What do you think?
That's interesting. That is very interesting right there. That is very interesting with Kristaps Porzingis. But Kristaps Porzingis could be a free agent, so they could probably. Well, they can't. They don't have the money to get him outright. You know what I'm saying? So it'll have to be a sign and trade.
Mhm.
Well, they could do it. Well, then again, it's like Aiden is like the only really big chip. And I don't think the Wizards will want that. They don't want the money. They don't want the money on the books.
That's true.
But could be wrong. But it could be wrong.
Right. Well, how about this trade? I know this won't happen, but you never know. And I'm gonna shook the league. Joel Embiid. Let's say Joel Embiid randomly you wake up one day and he says, "Hey, I want out." Let's say James Harden's gonna leave. He said, "Hey, I want out." If you're Phoenix, right? I'm not saying you're doing this. I'm just saying. Imagine a trade: DeAndre Ayton, Torrey Craig. Let's say you just throw in Damian Lee, maybe Ish Wainwright for Joel Embiid. Imagine that.
Now you know. Now I can see Aiden going to the Sixers. I think they'll do that deal though. You know they'll take that deal and stuff like that. I could see that happening. Wow. But then again, like I said, Joel Embiid, that's a $50 million. His contract is 52 because he's he's upper there. It'll be Joel Embiid 50. KD's gonna be 50. Devin Booker's gonna be 50. What's name is already 50. Bradley Beal. That's 4 players at 50. That's $200 million off the rip.
That's crazy. Yeah, right. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm agreeing with you. Yeah. That's a lot of money. I'm not saying it's going to happen because I don't think Philly's strange only beat. But if magically that would happen somehow, do you know? And let's say Russ goes there. You know how scary their starting 5 is. Russ, point guard, can put the ball on the floor, athletic. D Book, he could play me too. You know, he could score, rack up the points. Brad Beal can score. Kevin Durant. His scoring is so effortless. And then if you get Joel Embiid somehow and you get a bench in there.
Yeah. Wow. But the only thing about it, you can't get a bench though, because that's $200 million right there. They already over the luxury tax. I mean, they already over the luxury so high. And the team, once a team, like if they don't win, they're not going to keep paying that luxury tax. They're not going to be paying like $300 million to wait. You know what I'm saying? They just be like, we can't do this. I could see three players at like 40, 50 million, you know, but not 4. So I don't even think that's going to happen unless they had to trade one of them. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see that happening. But that's too much money. That's too much salary on one team. And you can't have no bench.
Yeah, they don't have a bench. And to win a championship, you need depth. Look what we saw in NBA history, though. So you need depth off the bench, role players who are ready, set, go, laser focused. Though that's gonna be a problem with the Suns no bench. And I also read a report Draymond Green to the Heat. Though you think that'll be a smart move in Miami?
Let me see, Draymond Green to the Heat. I never thought about that one, but Draymond to the Heat, and then you can put Bam at the 4 or the 5. Because Draymond, he could be a small ball 5. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't care. He don't care. You know though, I could see that happening. I could see Draymond playing. I could see him playing on the Heat. Because, like I said, they are a contender, you know what I'm saying? So why wouldn't he? You know, they got Jimmy. And I think Jimmy Buckets, like I said, you got Jimmy Buckets. Bam really came out this year in the playoffs. You know, he grew in the playoffs, you know, which is good. I mean, he's an all-star. I know he's an all-star, but this was the first time that he really seemed like, wow. You know, especially against Jokic, you know what I'm saying? He was taking it in there. He wasn't scared, you know. So that was a good thing for him, right? Yeah.
Inconsistent at times. He was inconsistent at times in the series, but he did what he could, yeah.
Yeah, that was good, man. That was real good. But like I said, man, we'll be back on Thursday, man. So if you do Thursday, man, I'll be here, you know what I'm saying, on a live draft, watch along and stuff like that. I know other podcasts going to have it. I mean, I might peek through, but I'll be on this one just for the first round, just to see how it goes and see if anything happens and, you know, ready to discuss it. So if you come back through, man, it'll be nice to have you, man. You know, or I don't know, you guys might have it on yours, you know, so I don't know, but you're more than welcome, bro, any other time, man. So if you got some any last words you want to say?
Yeah, some last words. Thank you for inviting me, Scott. Please subscribe to the Man-Cave, everyone. Come on. It's free. Smash the lights. It's free. Easy cheesecake. Just use your finger, doink, press the like from Man as God, the Man-Cave. He brings all the meat and potatoes, the French fries, and the soda pop of each story, though. Always tells the truth, always accurate with his analysis. Come on, everyone. Please subscribe to his channel, please. Come on. Pretty please with cherry on top. Come on. He's awesome.
And they're gonna do the same thing, like I said. That's G Money from the Last Laugh podcast. Please subscribe to his channel. hit that like and subscribe, and also notification bell, so that way when they come on and stuff like that. Like I said, in the Knicks podcast, we are a growing community, so we want to support everyone. Nobody has no ego, no ill will, so we try to support everybody and make this thing grow. Because like I said, we all we got. Knicks fans, Giants fans, whatever, everybody alike. But like I said, thank you for joining another episode of the Man Cave podcast, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, and have a good evening.
Peace.
It's like this, y'all. In your mind, I walk in with words that scorch, and the impact is awesome. Verbally extorting every cell in your brain till the message is retained. The illest finally came, the rest sound the same. Synthetic, cosmetic, the game smooth fetted. To 85 of streetwalkers thinking they riders. And then you got these riders to tell you what hood is. Ask for directions, don't know where the hood is. I got bombs, unlock blocks and pop on. Infiltrators who got on through my art form. This is streets music, like drugs I use it to escape the hell and the ones who rule it. With children kill children and project buildings over chemicals that made the government billions. Meanwhile, I'm watching who's scheming and plotting on my bank account and the jewelry I'm rocking. Sneakers stay clean, I push big machines, oversized rims and mini plasma screens. I conversate with teens and tell me what they seem. The hot shit on the scene is gangsta extreme. It's in style to die and doing time to fly. You get props for getting shot and pussy if you're not. I look at them, stare back at them, then laugh at them. Get scientific with it, just spit the math at them. Break down the whole compound with small atoms. So they understand, ready for war, get back at them. Cause gangsters that I knew, they told me not to do what they was physically doing. Cause this is not for you. Cause they saw my future. I was like a computer being programmed with data from legends that live major. And this is what I made of. My mind stays in a state of 9/11 related, survival orientated to keep me situated when drama escalated. I thank God I made it, cause many did not make it.